Hey friends, welcome to the Social Society. We are the modern-day marketing agency that has quite literally turned the branding world upside down. Over the past several years, we have been traveling the world working with trailblazers and industry innovators. But our secret is our team. We are about to give you the inside scoop into what we do and who we are. So get comfy, grab a drink of choice, and be ready for some mic drop moments.
Welcome back to the Social Society podcast. We are live from Nashville today.
Woo, howdy everyone.
Howdy y'all. And we are going to do a mic drop episode because we did a little Q&A in our stories and we asked drop questions and we got one that's I think a little bit juicy.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about what creates synergy within our team. So I think probably the number one thing we hear from all clients and especially at immersions is like, this team is amazing. And not just talented, but like the way we work together, the humor, we have fun, we know how to be serious at the right time. And like, there's not a lot of egos, even though there really could be with the level of expertise. And I think it's really important to talk about like, what are the main things that we have done that maybe if you have a team out there you haven't done, or you're like looking to create a team that feels like this. And I think that, I've narrowed it down to about 3 key points that I think have really created the synergy. And the number one is people will resist naturally what is there. So I have consciously created, to the best of my ability right now and keep working on it, a team that feels like safe and actually encouraged to have independence, right? To have their own goals, to have their own life, to have their own dreams, to have their own things that they're working on. Because what I have found through working myself with other people and then also having a team where I wasn't as skilled in this in the beginning, is that if you try to force people to come in, like you try to create unity and like, I want everybody in on this, I want everybody in, people naturally like want to do the opposite.
Yeah. And you've given people the space and then the people come to you.
Yeah. Like the team truly wants to be a part. And the ones that are here, like they know they can flourish and grow however they want independently, but they actually choose to put their energy and time into the like unified goal. So that's, I think, really different. And as a leader out there, even if you have one team member, like I hope you hear that, like what you want them to do, don't create a situation where their instinct is going to make them want to do the opposite. Like let them be who they are. And if they're not the right person for you, then you'll also find that out.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's good advice.
Yeah. And then the second piece is energy. Energy is really, really important. And I know we've said this on a couple of other episodes, but I've literally hired every single team member off energy first. Like Candace, I don't maybe suggest doing this, but I was like in a spot where I'm like, okay, virtual assistant or like assistant. And I typed it in on Instagram and there was something about her face, her picture, her energy, which also social media is important.
Yes.
But I saw her and I was like, there's something here. And we made that connection. And it was actually funny because the girl who was helping me out at the time actually brought me you as well. She was like, hey, I have like a couple of options for you. And I was like, this is crazy because I just randomly saw her on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think, and then Jade, we talked about it before Jade even submitted a design, I was on a Zoom interview with her and I'm like, you're hired. Like you're literally hired purely from just like who you are and how you show up, and like that energy is just contagious. And Melissa, meeting and shooting with her, it was like we made that connection. And Kyle, and meeting him and doing video with him, I'm like, talent is so important. Talent is so important, but somebody can refine and create talent. Like time, effort, that will eventually get you better and better at what your craft is, but you can't teach energy.
And you have such a gift for that. Like, I feel like you meet someone and you're like, like you can give a really good read on their energy. Yeah. And you're like 99% of the time correct. Like,
and it's trusting yourself, right? Like trusting yourself when you're in that spot where maybe you're needing a new team member. Like they on paper could be like the perfect person. Like, oh my gosh, they have all the expertise. They know how to do all of the things that I need. But trust that feeling inside where you're like, I just don't feel that it. Because especially if you're trying to create a team like ours, it is family. Like we're here on a couch together. We're traveling together. Like
you learn a lot.
If I don't love you, I'm not going to want to be with you. And clients can feel that.
Yeah. You've also, I don't know that I've ever said this, but you have taught me to like trust my inner gut a little more when it comes to energy. Aww. Like I feel like I always had a hint of it. Yeah. But working with you, I'm the masculine energy or the feminine energy, I feel like you've allowed me to like lean into that a little more, to be like, okay, I'm feeling off about this, or I'm feeling really good. You've allowed me to like trust my intuition a little bit, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's all of it too, is like our energies working together. Like, you don't want to hire somebody or look for somebody on the team that's like, that fits everything, because you really want like your masculine like structure helps support the way that I am. And like Kyle's like fun personality where he's jumping over the couch and like it makes us all laugh. And then he's got the like talent behind it. Like you don't want the person that's like everyone's the same way. Like we're all the pieces that work together, and like that's the synergy.
For sure.
And then what was the third piece that I was talking about? Do you remember what I said before? We have the energy, we have the not trying to create the connection, but allowing the space. And then let me think here. If it comes to me, it comes to me. Oh, caring about the team deeper than what they do for you. So it's so often easy as a leader, or just anyone, right, to be like, what can they do for me? I need this from you. I need, they fill a role for you, but they're humans. And like, we care about each other. We care about what's going on in our lives, how they are emotionally, what they're going through in their families, like deeply. And actually, like, I recently went through some stuff myself and my relationship and working on our marriage. And I wasn't sure if we were going to make it for a little bit. And like, just knowing like Amanda messaging me and being like, I love you, I got you. And like, you know what I mean? And that type of respect that goes deeper than business is so important.
It allows us to trust each other more, I think, because it's so much deeper than just like, I'm in office or I'm out of office. It's like so much deeper than that. It allows us to really trust each other on a whole different level.
And Monday morning meetings are, I think, a huge piece of what we do for that. So we have a meeting every Monday, and it's first thing in the morning, like 9 a.m. And we've talked about this before, like, it could be a dreaded thing, right? But it's not about like, hey guys, this is what we need this week from you, and this is what we're going through, and the checklist and the, what I like trying to get things from people. Again, it's like everyone just comes. We might have like a fun activity that we do or something, but we generally like, how was your weekend? How's everybody doing? What's going on in your life? And from somebody on the outside listening to it, it could probably sound like what a waste of time, but it's so valuable in creating that synergy as
it brings us all back to center as a team. And like she said, like sometimes we like do crazy, stupid activities, like everyone screenshot your most used emojis and we're gonna guess whose is who. Sounds so little. That was like one of my favorite meetings. Oh yeah. And it's just it's conscious of us, like as a business, as I don't know what I'm saying, as your business manager. Yeah, as the team wrangler and as your business manager, I feel like I am conscious of trying to bring the team together and trying to keep that synergy. It takes a little bit of effort, 100%. But choosing the right people with the right energy makes it less work. Are you listening to this podcast and thinking, I wish I could start a podcast? Or maybe you already have a podcast that isn't quite performing how you want. I'm Candace, the Social Society's resident podcast queen. Whether you need new branding for a brand new show idea, a launch strategy, or just a plan to get more eyes and ears on your show, I can help you elevate your podcast game. Click the link in our bio to book a call with me, and I can help you figure out the best way to work with us. Talk to you soon.
Speaking on that, we recently had to let a team member go. And that's kind of the mic drop of this episode is, how do you consciously create a team that holds the same values of you? And what do you do when one is not? And it was not an easy decision. It was actually very difficult because we are family. Like, we care. Like, we care about them. And it had nothing to do with like their talent or what they were bringing to the table. It actually had to do with the energy again. And it had to do with like, right now where they are in life didn't match the values of like where we're going. And one of the key values of where we're always going is like that growth, that personal growth. Like, again, there's the social society growing, but the social society will only grow to the level that everyone individually is growing.
Totally.
And when you have someone that isn't committed to that growth, or maybe they're just going through something, how do you like stick with them? How do you believe in them? How do you encourage them? And then at what point do you have to like bless and release and like really allow them to go on their journey. Because again, I know consciously if I tried to control their journey, they're actually just going to resist more, and they're going to go off further from their path. So sometimes the best thing to do is to let someone go so that they can find their own way back home.
Right. But it's not a quick decision.
Gosh, no, it was really hard.
Just like you said, like we all go through things. We're all human. Like we all have had hard times. And it's like, but you also hit a point where it's like, okay, we've given some space and we've given like so many deep, like, thoughts and talks and opportunities for growth, and if it's not met, like it's there, you know, there comes a time to say goodbye, and it's so sad. Like it's a hard decision, but ultimately we have to keep the synergy in the team.
Absolutely, it's key.
All right,
you want to do a card?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna draw one this time.
Yeah, it's your turn.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your life so far?
Ooh. I've had a pretty good life.
You know what I've heard actually? So one of my mentors says don't pick number 7 because like that's like the safe. Like if you do a 1 through 10, most people like 7.
I had a number in my head.
What is it?
It's a 9.
Ooh!
I think I've had a pretty amazing life so far, but I don't want to say 10 because I always want there to be like, you know, room for there to be better. But I'm so blessed and I have so much like gratitude for everything in my life and my family and my husband and my baby and everything. I feel like it's a 9.
I think mine's an 8. And I think it's just because I feel like I've more recently stepped into like finding more joy in my life and like kind of, it's almost like I feel like I'm starting again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like recently kind of gone through a whole nother awakening or ego death or whatever you want to label it as, but just like another level of myself. So I feel like it's an 8 because it's been really good, but like I know there's going to be some really good stuff coming.
Oh, I'm excited. So, I can't wait to see.
Oh, you will, because you're going to be right there with
I
me.
know. I love it.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
If you enjoyed this episode, let's move this relationship to the next level. The friend zone, baby. Head to the show notes and click the link to join our close friends list where you will gain access to knowing where we are, all our adventures, and exclusive pop-up offers at locations around the world. Plus, we hold nothing back on our close friend stories on IG. See you there.